folks, there she is, the famous "Welcome to Las Vegas" sign. Right there. There's people going to get their picture taken. So, just to give you an update, Steve Sisolak has extended the pause, or lockdown, whatever you want to call it. He calls it a pause, for another 30 days. So there's a lot of different restrictions here with the hotels and the restaurants. I just wanted to show you. We'll go down the strip here and you can see what little traffic is on the strip today on a Thursday. And if you don't know, a bunch of the casinos, well, most of the casinos are open, but a lot of the hotels are not open. They're today. They're only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Monday through Thursday, a lot of the hotels are not open. The casinos are, and maybe one restaurant or so inside. A lot of the stores aren't open. So there's not a lot. There's not a lot to do if you come here Monday through Thursday. Mandalay Bay, I opened Mandalay Bay. I was there for about a year and a half until I left there. Actually started there when it was under construction in security, and then a few months later, after it opened up, I went into the slot department. So there's Metro, the Popo. If y'all don't know, don't mess with Metro, because Metro don't play. You come to Vegas, you want to have a good time, just don't get stupid or too stupid, because you don't want to go to jail here. You know, but there's, of course, things that are going on right now with the rates were really low. A lot of the hotels were getting some of the not so desirable guests coming in, like gangbangers and things like that. So there were a lot of fights here on the strip and in the hotels. I'm sure you've probably seen some of the videos maybe, but yeah, unfortunately when things get cheap like that and some people want to take advantage of it, I mean, everybody's welcome to come to Vegas, but don't act a fool. I mean, you can have a good time, have some drinks, but don't get out there fighting and gangbanging and stuff. That's just stupid. There's the Luxor there for you. Alright. Tropicana on the right, Excalibur on the left. You want somewhere cheap to stay, you can stay at the Excalibur. Tropicana's pretty cheap too, and from what I understand, they recently did a bunch of renovations, so it's supposed to be a lot nicer. I stayed at the Tropicana once. God, it had to be 25 years ago, and back then it was old and decrepit. Of course, the MGM, New York. So I was gonna do this yesterday, figuring Wednesday would be a lot less traffic. Probably was. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of traffic today either, but I'm going to kind of thin out here a little bit and you can get some good footage of the strip. And you can see how there's hardly anybody. And if you can look at the bridge when we're coming up to the bridge that crosses over from New York to MGM, you'll see just very few people walking across. You'll see like, you know, one or two couples going across, or maybe like a security guard or Metro police crossing over or something. Which I think I see 2 Metro officers right now crossing over the bridge. Yep. Yeah, there's a couple of them right now. Alright. So, you can see, look at the sidewalk. There's like nobody on the sidewalk. Normally there'd be tons of people. Someone shopping. See, very few people. I'll just throw trash on the ground. That's really nice. So, that's what I mean. And that's what sucks, is you got people like that that'll throw trash on the ground, and there's so many people that aren't working, and part of those people that would normally be working would be what we call PAD, public areas. They go around and sweep all the grounds and all that stuff with ARIA. So those are people that keep the place clean, but if they ain't working and people throwing garbage on the ground, it's just going to look dirty. Not good. So you can see over here, this is coming up on very few people. They're at the Paris, and here's the Bellagio. Now usually there are tons of people lined up at the front of the Bellagio, taking pictures, waiting for the fountain shows to go off. So that's another thing too. The volcano show at the Mirage has been shut down. So, you know, you can still come to the Bellagio and see the fountains go off, but you can't go to the Mirage and see the volcanoes going off. And also, the Mirage has shut down their casino, like during the week. So it's not even open Monday through Thursday. You know, like a lot of places. You know, a lot of places, like I said, that they have the casinos open, but just not hotel rooms Monday through Thursday. But they completely shut the whole thing down. So there's no restaurants, no casino, no hotel Monday through Thursday. So as you can see, very few people. You got people hanging out, and that's usually not the ones you want here, is the ones that are just hanging out, because they're usually not up to do good. Caesar's Palace. Forum shops. You can just look at the sidewalk. Very few people. Normally, there'd be a ton of people. The sidewalks would be packed. There's the Mirage. Like I said, you can see the water going on the volcano over here, but at night, nothing going on. Look up at the bridge. I see one person crossing the bridge. One person. It's a ghost town. So, I don't know what you feel about the COVID-19 pandemic stuff, whether you believe it or not, or if you think it's something else. Let's go here. But as you can see, with no tourists in Vegas, that means no employees working at the casinos hardly, which means no money except for unemployment, which means less money spent in the economy, you know, other than the essentials like food and rent, utilities. Then you've got people that aren't paying rent because of the foreclosure thing and all, where nobody can foreclose and can't kick people out of their apartments and stuff for not paying their rent. So I don't know, I'm getting unemployment, I'm paying my rent, you know. I haven't worked since March. It was like March 13th, I think, was like my last day. So I don't know. I know people say that they gotta pay their bills and all that stuff, and a lot of people have more bills than I do, but I've got rent and utilities and all that stuff and food, and I got alimony that I have to pay. So I'm able to pay all that. Of course, I don't have a brand new car payment and a brand new, you know, car insurance on a brand new car, but still, like I said, I pay alimony, so that's essentially almost a friggin' new car payment. I got a little over a year left and I'll be done. Yay! Anyway, so this part of town, before we get up to the Stratosphere and Resort World, they are doing a lot of road construction, trying to take advantage of the time, I guess, for the stuff being down. But there's Resort World. I've seen a few people do these videos and they don't talk and they don't play any music. Of course, you can't play music on these videos that are copyrighted, so I figured I'd try to make it a little more interesting for you if we had a little conversation. I could talk to you about stuff. I've been in Las Vegas since 1991. I'm originally from South Carolina, but I actually moved to Vegas from San Antonio, Texas, prior military. So when I left South Carolina in '85, did my basic training and schooling for the Army in Fort Bliss, Texas, and El Paso. Then went from there to Germany, Ramstein, Germany. I got there in November of 1985. Stayed there till, I think it was September of '89. I finished my time in the Army in early August of 1989, but I stayed in country in Germany for another like month and a half or two before I came back to the States. So love Germany. Miss it. I don't know about how it'll be now with the way things have changed with the new chancellor. So here's the Peppermill. If you want a good place to have breakfast and stuff, come to Peppermill. Been here for years. Alright, I gotta try to move over here. Dude, do you not see? I'm fucking telling you, I'm moving over. It's always the California drivers. You hear I got a turn signal on, I'm slowly moving over, and you think I'm not going to come over? You don't want to give me room? Down to one lane. can see the Stratosphere over there. When I moved here in 91, the Stratosphere wasn't there. There was another casino that was there that was called Vegas World. And it was owned by Bob Stupak, who actually ran for mayor a couple times. Failed every time. He had this sleazy casino, and he used to put these big ads in like Playboy magazine and stuff to get people to come into their casino. When I first moved here and I applied for a bunch of different jobs, I went in there. They were hiring for security. I walked in, walked around the casino, turned around and walked out. I said, I am not working in this place. It was really bad. They actually had people that got robbed and shot and stabbed in the parking garage. So, of course, I didn't know all that when I first moved here. I originally moved here because I had a job at the test site, Area 51. But that's, of course, when George Bush Sr. was in as president, and they started doing all the budget cuts. So I moved here from San Antonio with this government job with the Department of Energy doing security out at Area 51. You know, the camo guys I always talk about? That was going to be me. So I got here on a Friday, and I was supposed to start on Monday. So I called them to let them know, hey, I'm here, and this is the phone number and address I'll be at, and I'll see you on Monday. Well, the lady goes, unfortunately, we've been trying to call you before you left Texas. You don't have a job anymore. And I go, what? She goes, yeah, you and 32 other guys were supposed to start on Monday. They froze all the jobs, so you don't have a job anymore. And I'm like, wow, I just moved all the way here and now I gotta find another job. So luckily at that time, you know, there were jobs available, and I ended up finding a job in a section of town called Green Valley, which at the time was one of the newest areas for new houses and apartments. So I got a job leasing apartments, and it was like $10 an hour. And I was like, are you kidding me? But I mean, it was a job, and they gave me a cut on my deposits and rent. So I got a little 1-bedroom apartment and paid all my bills working there. But I was supposed to start at the test site at $45,000 a year. This is in 1991. So I went from a $45,000 a year job to a $10 an hour job. Terrible. And at that time, it was super hard to get into the casinos. Now, you see the new Las Vegas arch that they spent millions of dollars on? Yeah. We could have used that money for a lot better things than that stupid arch. So if you keep going down this way, this will take you to downtown, to Fremont Street. And you can see the lights, the Fremont Street Experience lights, all that. Downtown's kind of fun, but usually like super crowded. But of course now it's not, with everything going on. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the ride. I'm gonna end this right now. Yeah, you're a moron. Look at this guy. And we'll talk to you later.